What's up guys, YGOstrats coming at you with a Skull Servant deck profile. This deck is so fun. I highly recommend it. You don't even need an extra deck to really play it, although obviously it does help. It's going to be beating down your opponent with like 6k normal summoned level 1 monsters. It's so fun and so entertaining to see the opponent get that worried look when they realize they're losing to this deck. But let's get right into it. We're going to be running 2 copies of Skull Servant, our ace card in the graveyard. And that's it. That's all we want it for. You don't want to top deck into him. You don't want him in your opening hand. So definitely only 2, otherwise it gets way too cloggy. But 2 of him. The real ace card, we're running 3 copies of King of the Skull Servants. This guy gains 1000 attack for every Skull Servant or King of Skull Servants in the graveyard, and when he's destroyed, you can banish 1 to special summon it back from the graveyard. The banish 1 being a Skull Servant or King of Skull Servants. So he is our level 1 6k beater, as I like to call him. He's the one that makes your opponent go, oh god, no. And it's so fun. Anyways, we're going to be playing 3 copies of White Mare to go along with it. He's Skull Servant while in the graveyard, and he has 2 effects when you, or 1 of 2 effects when you discard him. He'll either return a banished Skull Servant or White Mare to the graveyard, or he'll special summon a banished King of Skull Servants or Lady in White. So very useful and combos perfectly with Allure of Darkness because it'll get back whatever it is you banish. The other card he can special summon, 3 Lady in White, a 2200 defense monster, so in the worst of cases you can just set it and wall up. And her effect is that level 3 and lower zombies, other than the Lady in White, are unaffected by spell and trap, or can't be destroyed by battle or spell or trap. So while she's on the field and the opponent Regekis, she's the only thing that goes. So not bad. Running 2 copies of White Prince. 3 clogged up a little bit too much in my testing, so I'm running it at 2 right now. His effect is that you can banish 2 other Skull Servant cards and himself to special summon 1 King of Skull Servants from the deck, so he'll pull out that pretty fast. And then his other effect is if he's into the graveyard, you can Foolish another Skull Servant. So he's very good for if you Foolish this and then Skull Servant type thing, or in the worst cases, like you can get it back, and if you've got Burial from the different dimension, you can bring the 3 things you banished back. It's all about the combo, but definitely only a 2 of. 2 Zombie Masters, typical zombie deck. So discard 1 zombie to special summon 1 zombie. Very good for setting up rank 4 plays and combos well with Mizuki, which we run 2 of. Discard this with it, and then you can special summon another 1, banish Mizuki, special summon another zombie. So great for setting up your plays. And then rounding up our little rank 4 engine, we run 2 Armageddonites because it's Foolish on legs. I choose him because he's a level 4 monster, so it helps for the rank 4 engine. And then sending any card in the deck to the graveyard as a monster helps. And then rounding it up, we're going to run 2 Unizombies and actually 1 Max C. I would drop the Max C and get a 3rd Unizombie if I could, but I don't have it at the moment, so just the 2. Unizombie can get 2 cards from your hand, or 1 card from your hand and 1 card from your deck to the graveyard to manipulate levels. So with him and another level 3, you can get up to like, he opens up synchro plays for level 6 and level 8s in this deck, and that's really what it is. It's the level 8s that he can get out. So very great combo piece, amazing zombie type tuner. Not much else to be said about it. He opens up our synchro plays, and then like I said, 1 Maxi, which doesn't hurt, but I definitely run 3 Unizombies in place. Going into the spell lineup, 2 Zombie Monster Reborns. Special summon a zombie and banish 1 card from your opponent's graveyard, if you can. Very nice. 2 MST for back row. 2 Mask Change, because discarding typically doesn't hurt in this deck, and Dark Law is fantastic, and I highly recommend it. The rest of spells are just 1-ofs. 1 Foolish Burial to send things to the graveyard. 1 Burial from the different dimension to get things back into the graveyard, power up Skull Servants. Draw power with Allure of Darkness, and like I said, with White Bear, if you have in your hand, whatever you draw you can banish, whatever it is. 1 for 1 to pull out King of the Skull Servants as ASAP. 1 Regeki for costless destruction, and 1 Dragon's Mirror for extra deck play. I find this is a great card. You can run it at 2 if you want, depending. I'm finding it works best at 1 for me. But that wraps up our spell card selection. 2 Mirror Force for the traps, just stop OTKs type thing. 1 Compulse and 1 Bottomless, interrupt your opponent. And then finally, Vanities and Crush Card. Worst of cases, if you open with Skull Servant, you can just Crush Card the opponent, which is very nice. and it'll confuse the hell out of them when you summon the one Skull Servant in attack mode, and then you set some cards because it's like, it's obviously bait, but what is it? Crush card. It's not great now that it's been neutered, so it is good to side out depending on what's going on. And then Vanities, you don't need to special summon too much, so why not lock them out of special summoning? For our extra deck, we're running 2 real fusion cards. One First of Dragons and one Draco Necro da. Big 3K zombie beat stick, really. This guy is only able to be summoned if you banish both of your Skull Servants, actual Skull Servants, from Dragon's Mirror, but he's unaffected by all effect monsters and he can't be destroyed by battle from effect monsters, and he's 2700 attack, so fantastic if you can get him out, but if you can't and you've got Dragon's Mirror in hand, 3K beat stick doesn't hurt. 2 copies of Dark Law because 2 copies of Master Range second. Macro on legs and Punish the Searching, not much else needs to be said about that. I'm running my level 8 Synchros, 1 Scrap, 1 BLs, and 1 Void Ogre. It's negate spell and trap while you have no hand and 3K attack. Can't be destroyed by battle or card effect, 3K attack. Pop 1 on your field to pop something on their field, and 2800 attack, so not bad, all big beat sticks. Scrap and BLs make an obvious combo, and it's not too hard to get your hand size down from either setting something or just not having a hand, so Void Ogre helps. I'm running 1 level 6 from Goyo because he's like the only good generic level 6. And then for my rank 4 engine, Cowboy to steal games, Cast Devil for spot removal, Dark Rebellion for beat sticks, 1 Exciton to punish overextending, and then I'm running 1 Downward Magician because I run 2 rank 1s. I run Dullahan for a quick cut monsters attack in half type thing. He's not a bad rank 1 to go into, especially if you've got a bunch of stuff on board. Things get Fiendish Chained or whatever. It's good to have an emergency rank 1 to go into. And Utopia Roots, if you're playing the Exceed deck especially, it can get up to pretty ridiculous amounts of attack, so it's good for like OTK pushes. So that wraps up our Skull Servant profile. Man, 10 out of 10 would duel again, so fun to play. Highly recommend it. It's pretty damn budget, especially if you don't play with an extra deck. You just focus on getting out King of the Skull Servants, beating your opponent down. But thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time on YGO Strats.